So, guys, like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank you. It's about time.
na nwa na mmụọ nsọ angels
Mama Nkosebru agwapụtara Maria.
O wetara ime ise n'ike nke mmụọ nsọ.
Ekene Maria Jupiter na Grace Osebru anọnyeli ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ dịazị ngọzi nwa afọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ. Bịabara ịgọ ndị nje arịrịọ, kịta na amana ọnwa anyị. Amen.
Nyeju odibo nwanyị Nkosebru ụwa.
Ka o rere m ka isi kwu.
Ekene Maria Jupiter na Grace Osebru anọnyeli ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ dịazị ngọzi nwa afọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ, nne nke Chukwu, bịabara ịgọ ndị nje arịrịọ, kịta na amana ọnwa anyị. Amen.
Okwu emela arụ.
O wee binyere anyị.
Ekene Maria Jupiter na Gracia Osebru anọnyeli ịdị ngọzi n'etiti igboro niile. Ọ dịazị ngọzi nwa afọ gị Jesu.
Maria bịabara ịgọ ndị nje arịrịọ, kịta na amana ọnwa anyị. Amen.
Dọbara anyị arịọ ọnne nke Chukwu dị asọ.
Ka o metụ ịnata nkwa nke Ekwesị.
Ayịyọ anyị na-arịọ gị o Chukwu ka enye Gracia n'ime obi anyị ka anyị bụ ndị nje butere ozi ọma wee mara iwere arụ Kristi nwa gị. Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ. Ka mkpụrụ obi ndị niile kwerenụ gara aga. Ka mkpụrụ obi fa zuru ike na ndokwa.
onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụnụ ka Chineke dị ike niile gọzie ụnụ nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ.
Ekpere a bịara ga-esite na nkwado ndị Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited Nnodi, ndị na-alụpụta Love Bite Bread nọ na nọmba 1 Nwosu Mmaduka Close, Umuru Nnodi, 081-4982-8254.
Listen to news updates on Ebonadi 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebonadi FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM.
Good evening and welcome to Abona, the 103.5 FM news update. Today, Monday, the 17th day of July 2023, and the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Ifanshupu Ekezie is my name. The headlines. Daughter arrested for maltreating aged mother in Anambra. Federal government confirms first case of anthrax in Nigeria. Sit at home cost Ebonyi. Anambra orders 144 days in 6 months. Subsidy removal. Ebonyi government approves 10,000 naira increment in workers' salary. Uzodinma raises Imo workers' salary. Putin warns that Russia will drop its own cluster bombs if Ukraine uses the controversial US-provided munitions. Now, details. US-provided munitions. Now, details. Daughter arrested for maltreating aged mother in Anambra. The police in Anambra State have arrested a woman, Okamaka Udebo, for maltreating her aged mother as captured in a viral video. Newsman reports that the 50-year-old suspect was arrested on Saturday, July 15th in Umudunu village, Abagana, in Njukoka local government area of the state. Okamaka was seen flogging her naked aged mother repeatedly and throwing buckets of water on her as she lay on the floor. The state police public relations officer Ikenga Tochukwu confirmed this in a statement on Sunday, saying that the suspect flogged and kicked her 75-year-old mother. According to the police PRO, the State Commissioner of Police, Aderemi Adeoye, has directed the transfer of this case to the state CID in the public interest. The police PRO also said the CP has authorized that the aged woman be handed to the Commissioner for Women Affairs for adequate care by the Anambra State government. He said the suspect will be arraigned in court at the end of the investigation. Federal government confirms first case of anthrax in Nigeria. The federal government has confirmed the first case of anthrax in Nigeria. The disease is a spore-forming bacterium which mostly affects livestock like cattle, sheep, and goats. Recall that the federal government had issued a warning to Nigerians weeks ago after learning of an anthrax outbreak in northern Ghana where all infected animals had died. A statement released by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development Monday, signed by the Chief Veterinary Officer of Nigeria, Dr. Kolumba T. Bakuru, reveals that the animals showing signs of a possible case of anthrax on a farm in Suleja, Niger State, were reported to the Office of the Chief Veterinary Officer of Nigeria on July 14, 2023. The case was in a multiple species animal farm comprising of cattle, sheep, and goats located at Gajiri along Abuja Kaduna Expressway, Suleja local government area, Niger State, where some of the animals had symptoms including oozing of blood from their body openings, anus, nose, eyes, and ears. A rapid response team comprising of federal and states One Health professional team visited the farm to conduct preliminary investigations and collected samples from the sick animals. Subsequent laboratory tests by the National Veterinary Research Institute laboratory confirmed the diagnosis, marking the first recorded case of anthrax in Nigeria in recent years, the statement read in part. It appealed to Nigerians to immediately report cases of animals bleeding from body openings to veterinary authorities or agriculture extension workers. The blood of an anthrax-infected animal does not clot. Do not process or move the dead or sick animal quickly. Report to your veterinary doctor or veterinary authorities at the Ministry of Agriculture in your state. The statement advised Nigerians. Sit at home cost Ebonyi, Anambra, others 144 days in 6 months. Residents of Ebonyi, Anambra, Imo, and Abia State have observed the sit-at-home for not less than 144 days from January till date. Investigation by newsmen revealed this was in spite of directive by governors in the region that people should ignore the directive. The sit-at-home was declared in the 5 southeastern states by a splinter group of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra led by Simon Eba, while the Nnamdi Kanu-led IPOB has distanced itself from the sit-at-home. Many people have continued to blame the separatist group for the directive, which has led to killings and destruction of property. The sit-at-home was enforced in the region on Monday until Eba group declared a one-week sit-at-home a couple of days ago. Meanwhile, findings by our correspondent indicated that the sit-at-home had been observed for at least 31 days in Ebonyi State, 48 days in Anambra State, 28 days in Imo State, and 37 days in Abia State. The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Ben Kallo, disclosed on Friday that within 2 years, the zone had lost about 4 trillion naira due to the sit-at-home. Speaking at an event organized by Ndi Wamaka Progressive Market Association in Lagos, Kallo, who didn't disclose the source of the data, stated, "We cannot afford to retreat from our business endeavors. The stay-at-home order on Mondays has resulted in staggering losses of 4 trillion naira in the last 2 years in the southeast alone, according to statistical data. In Anambra State, it was revealed that apart from the weekly Monday sit-at-home, which the residents were forced to observe, the exercise declared by the Finland-based EPA recorded about 15 days, bringing the total number to 48 days in the state. Despite the assurances and efforts of the state government and security agencies, the people, especially Traders had continued to observe the sit-at-home for fear of being attacked or their shops burned. Governor Charles Soludo had, through his press secretary, Christian Aburime, urged residents to ignore the sit-at-home, adding Simon Eba is a fugitive and rabble-rouser who should be completely ignored by the citizens of Anambra State and by extension, the Southeast. Subsidy removal. Ebonyi government approves 10,000 naira increment in workers' salary. The government of Ebonyi State Executive Council has approved a salary increase of 10,000 naira for workers to cushion the effects of petroleum subsidy removal. The government also approved the recruitment of 1,454 workers in the state. Approved the salary increase of 10,000 naira to workers to cushion the effects of petroleum subsidy removal. The State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Engineer Jude Obo, disclosed this while briefing journalists on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting chaired by the State Governor, Abakaliki, the state capital. Mr. Obo said His Excellency, the Chairman of Council, approved that 10,000 naira be added to every worker's salary in the state to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. His Excellency also mandated SSG Professor Grace Umezurike to look into the finances of State University, EPSU, to know what comes out and goes into the university to help determine the upwards review of subvention to the university. Council also approved employment of 1,454. He said Council also deliberated on crises in some parts of the state and set up a committee with a view to resolving them. According to him, the committee is to look into the Iza Efum and Efum crisis in Ohauku local government area, Isunkwo Abomege, crisis in Onitsha local government area, Amana, Ikwo in Iza South, and Ikwo local government area, among other areas in the state that has a crisis. His Excellency, the Governor, also suggested that only people of unquestionable character and proven integrity will be nominated into the committee, he stated. Uzodinma raises Imo workers' salary. The Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has announced a new minimum wage of 40,000 naira for workers in the state to ease the pains caused by the removal of fuel subsidy. The governor also announced 5 billion naira revolving loan for farmers, as well as free transportation and medical care. Uzodinma made the announcement during a special meeting with critical Imo stakeholders on Saturday in Owerri. The governor said the free transportation, feeding, and medical care were for civil servants. He said other with critical Imo stakeholders on Saturday in Owerri. The governor said the free transportation, feeding, and medical care were for civil servants. He said other palliatives include the establishment of marketing and commodity boards, mass housing, and recruitment of more teachers. Uzodinma said that the government had also initiated scholarship scheme for Imo students while retirees will be paid promptly. It is clear to me that our people are suffering, particularly the low-income earners and those in paid employment. I have therefore convened this special meeting with the leadership of organized labor, traders, farmers, and artisans to announce the comprehensive palliative measures we are putting in place, which I am sure will ease these sufferings, he noted. He expressed confidence that the measures would stimulate the economy, create additional jobs, and enhance workers' wages. Let me say, however, that although the impact of the fuel subsidy removal policy appears harsh in the short run, it will, in the long run, bring positive results. There shall be an immediate upward review of the salaries and wages of workers in the state. The minimum wage is hereby raised to 40,000 naira with discretionary consequential adjustments. At least your salaries would be able not only to take you home, but to also provide your basic necessities to enable you to make ends meet, he said. The Anglican Archbishop of Owerri Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend David Onoha, commended the governor for taking the lead in providing solutions to the suffering of the people. Also speaking, the chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Dr. Philip Mansi, commended Uzodinma for his leadership qualities, which he noted that had started yielding results in the southeast. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Putin warns that Russia will drop its own cluster bombs if Ukraine uses the controversial US-provided munitions. Russian President Vladimir Putin said in an interview published Sunday that Russia has a sufficient stockpile of cluster munitions and wants the right to take reciprocal action if Ukraine uses the controversial weapons. In his first comment on the delivery of cluster munitions to Ukraine from the US, Putin said that Russia has not used cluster bombs in its war in Ukraine so far. The use of cluster bombs by both Russia and Ukraine has been widely documented, including by the Associated Press and international humanitarian organizations, and cluster rounds have been found in the aftermath of Russian strikes. Until now, we have not done this, we have not used it, and we have not had such a need, he said. The munitions, which are bombs that open in the air and releases scores of smaller bomblets, are seen by the US as a way to get Kyiv critically needed ammunition to help bolster its offensive and push through Russian front lines. Ukraine has been trying to encircle the city since losing control of it to Russia in May. Putin claimed that the Ukrainian counter-offensive have been futile in another essay published by Zaburi. This is why we draw the curtain on news update on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Daughter arrested for maltreating aged mother in Anambra. Federal government confirms first case of anthrax in Nigeria. Sit at home cost Ebonyi. Anambra orders 144 days in 6 months. Subsidy removal. Ebonyi government approves 10,000 naira increment in worker salary. Most of them raises IMO worker salary. Putin warns that Russia will drop its bombs if Ukraine uses the controversial US provided munitions. Listen to news updates on Ebonade 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Epanshuku Ekezie. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
Listen to news updates on Ebonade 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebonade FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonade FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be, Street Report is here to make sense of it all. Street Report is causing social change across your streets, in your community. Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Efanshuku, as number the force, every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebonade 103.5 FM as Street Report.
So guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Right?
On Ebonade
24/7.